Welcome to our tutorial on the zero product property, basically solving quadratic equations by factoring. The first thing that we like to do is identify the greatest power of x. In this problem, it's x cubed. Now our key goal is to build a zero on one side of the equation and get everything else on the other side. Well, I like it to end up so that the number attached to the largest power of x is positive. So let's build the zero on the left and get the other terms over on the right. So we're subtracting the 9x squared from both sides, and we're subtracting the 3x from both sides. Next, and this is key, we look for the greatest common factor. In this problem, our greatest common factor is a 3x. When we factor it out, we're left with a 10x squared minus 3x minus 1. And now we look to factor what remains. So the factors of 10 could either be 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. The factors of 1 are pretty simple. It's always nice when that pops up. Don't forget to carry your greatest common factor along for the ride, so bring that 3x down. Then, we're trying to figure out how to pair these up. If we pair up the 1 and 10 with the 1 and 1, 1 times 1 is 1, 10 times 1 is 10, and we can't subtract 1 and 10 to get 3. But if we pair up the 2 and 5 with the 1 and 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 5 times 1 is 5, and we can take their difference to get a negative 3. So when we pair these things up, we will be doing it that way. We're taking the 2 and 5 with the 1 and 1. Means one set of parentheses is going to have a 2x, and the other set of parentheses will have a 5x. There's going to have to be a 1 in both sets of parentheses. Now we need it to be a minus 3x, so what we want is to have a negative 5x plus 2x. So there's our factoring. And now, to finish off the problem, what we need to do is set each factor equal to 0. So set 3x equal to 0, set 2x minus 1 equal to 0, and set 5x plus 1 equal to 0. And then we're solving for x. Here, it's just going to be x equals 0. Over here, we would have 2x equals 1. And when we divide both sides by 2, x is a half. And for the final item, x is going to be equal to a negative 1/5 once we solve. Now each of those are answers, so make sure it's clear that x equals 0, x equals 1/2, and x equals negative 1/5 are solutions to our original equation. One more example of the zero product property. Look at the equation on your screen. Again, we want to get the power of x that's the largest to have a number that's positive attached to it. So we want the 0 on the right, and everything else we'll get on the left-hand side of this equation. Please make sure that you write the equation in order of exponents. X squared, then x, then the number. Don't overlook your greatest common factor. In this problem, it appears that 8 divides all of the terms, leaving us with 6x squared minus 11x plus 4. And now, again, we look to factor. The factors of 6 are 1 and 6, or 2 and 3. 4 can be split into 1 and 4, or 2 and 2. Now, as we think this through, here's what you want to consider. Since this is positive, we need to add the two numbers or have them both negative. They have to be the same sign. We want the items to combine to be a negative 11. So for instance, let's say we paired the 2 and 3 with the 2 and 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 2 is 6, and I can't use 4 and 6 to get 11. What if we did it this way? 1 and 6 with 2 and 2. Well, 1 times 2 is 2, 6 times 2 is 12. we can't use 2 and 12 to get 11. What if we went 1 and 6 with 1 and 4? We could have 1 and 24. That's not going to work. Or we could have 6 and 4. That's not going to work. Huh. Well, so our last combination to try out here would be 2 and 3 with 1 and 4. We could have 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times 3 is 12. 2 and 12 isn't going to pan out, but 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 times 4 is 8. 3 and 8 can get us the 11. So don't forget to carry down your greatest common factor. I need to see that. Then, we know that one of the parentheses is going to have a 2x, the other parenthesis will have a 3x. So we said we wanted 8 and 3. To get 3, we'll put the 1 right next to the 3. That way when we multiply and FOIL it out, we get 3x. And the 4 is going to go over here because that way we will get 8x when we FOIL. They need to be the same sign, and we want them to add to be a negative. So we're going to want minus signs in both places. Now we set each factor equal to 0. 8 equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. 3x minus 4 equals 0. Well, look over here. Is 8 ever equal to 0? No. That won't have any answer. Then we're going to get 2x equals 1. So x equals a half. Now circle it because that is a valid answer. And over here we'll get 3x equals 4. So x is equal to 4/3. Again, circle that because it too is a valid answer. What are our final answers to this problem? Well, it's x equals 1/2 and x equals 4/3. So really this process isn't bad. Get a 0 on one side, factor the other side completely, set each factor equal to 0, and solve for x. That is the zero product property, or how you solve quadratic equations by factoring.